buddy. Welcome to the TD podcast. We are your hosts, Tony and Dak, and other way, Dak. And in today's episode, we are going to be going through some news and then getting to a fantasy football draft, so to speak, for the upcoming Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles. Recently, the NFL has allowed their players to play in those games, so that's what led us to this. Um, for that, we'll be getting to some rules later, but right now we're going to be getting into some news directed by Dak. Directed by Dak. So, Dak, if you want to jump into that, we'll go through that for a little bit and
Yeah,
then get to
so
the draft.
yeah, so the Steelers quarterback situation still has not revol or solved itself, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. We're still seeing no Aaron Rodgers. Um, and I think those chances keep falling and falling and falling. And we have seen Mason Rudolph be the quote unquote guy, and Will Howard has just been taking it by storm. This weekend, um, OTAs, he has been balling. As I'm going to pull up his stats here. Um, Dude is showing why he was a national champion at um, at Ohio State. And the first 2 days of OTAs, he was 39 for 47, 687 yards, 7 TDs, 0 interceptions.
Okay.
So I get it. He's going against some second stringers. He's probably not getting all the first team reps if he's getting any first team reps, but he's still balling out, and
Mm-hmm.
he's throwing some question out there like, hey, I should get the job.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, um, Steelers might have found something, but in finding something, the Bengals did not find the replacement for Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Not yet.
Shamar Stewart still hasn't signed his deal, and Trey Hendrickson is prepared to go the whole season without playing because he wants to get a new contract. They've said the past 2 years that they would get a contract done, and they have not got a contract done, and they keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And if you're the Bengals, you've kind of messed up because you could have signed him to a little bit less of a deal than what he's wanting now. I believe he's wanting upwards of 40 million, somewhere around there. I believe he's only making 34. If he's making 34, I believe he's like 10th in the edge market. And Miles Garrett just broke that market
Yeah,
with
he
getting
broke the
40
glass
million a year.
ceiling.
Yeah, so a lot of money being thrown around, and a guy that threw a lot of money around to Colts fans was the late great Jim Irsay. Always wanting to help guys out, always doing raffles, always taking care of the
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis community. And last week, I believe it was last Monday, last Tuesday, it was whenever Game One of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so almost 2 weeks ago, the Indianapolis Colts lost their owner Jim Irsay, as you guys know. Um, Out there, hopefully you know the Colts are going to be wearing a patch on their jerseys the whole entire year, and I think it gives them something to play for, as I have mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
And his daughters are taking over. Casey Foyt and Kaylin Jackson, and then Carly Ursa Gordon are taking over for the team. And Carly has some experience. She's been in the off front offices, I believe, since 2010, if not longer.
That's quite a while.
So
It's 15 years of
that
experience right there.
that's there. But also in the news that wasn't actually on our schedule. I've been seeing it all day. I'm gonna ask you, Ant or Tony. I call him Ant all the time, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's by habit. But have you seen Travis Hunter run routes?
No, I haven't. I've been driving to Georgia all day. I have not seen anything. So like the Will Howard
It's
stuff's new to me. The Travis Hunter stuff, all that was new to me too. So
so Travis Hunter
is he
has been
struggling?
obviously he's been running routes. It looks slow. Like
So I
just
was listening to
everyone's saying he
podcasts on the
looks
way,
better.
and they made a good point. I don't remember which one it was, but they said it makes sense because Travis Hunter has played corner his entire life versus wide receiver has been more new. And they've also said that He's been in both meetings, but he's picked up offense slower, which also makes sense because he did excel even more so at corner. But I think all that is new. I think it's going to be fun to see. And like I mentioned early in the off season, towards I think it might have been one of our first episodes, if not our first. Um, Offense is going to be um, easier to learn in terms of like shoe in, like put them in there and it will go. But it's going to be harder to really fit with the defense with all the communication that you have to have and all that fun stuff. But it'll be interesting either way. I'm excited to see how it goes. Um, and then with the Will Howard stuff, I was actually going back and forth with some of the Steelers fans in our TikTok comment section. If you haven't already, go check out our TikTok. It's on the bottom runner right there. Um, Going back and forth with them about how we finally said the Steelers are they're not gonna break 500 this offseason or this year, and they're like, hey, just wait. I'm like, hey, I will wait. Hopefully, I would imagine until next season, um, like next season, like 2026, they might come back. But I just don't love the fact that Mason Rudolph is currently their starting quarterback. If Will Howard comes out with it, at least you have some new blood, somebody who's really hungry. Mason Rudolph is 29 and he's never really done much, so that's not really something I'm looking forward to. Um,
About to get hit in the head
yeah,
with a helmet.
that was crazy. That was what was that 2018, 2019? I don't remember.
Pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID. It's probably 2018. Um, and then the Jim Irsay stuff. That's really cool. I had a feeling that his daughters were going to be taking over because of the fact that they were so intertwined. Like I'd seen videos of them like on the sidelines with the team during games and all that fun stuff. So yeah, a lot of good news. Thank you for the news update. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the episode. What's going to take us a minute? I would imagine we're going to have some conversation with it too, because I know for a fact I will be throwing you for a loop on some of my draft picks. I'm not really too worried about.
Can't be worse. Can't be worse than your AFC predictions.
Listen, buddy, that was last week's episode, so go watch last week's if you haven't already gotten there. Um, I've got some fun takes for it, to say the least. But before we get into the actual draft and its rules, I wanted to give a little bit of a debrief on like the flag football. This is for the Olympics in 2028 in LA. I looked up the some of the rules for it, so I'm just gonna go over a couple. So if you don't know, flag football is the non-contact version of football, um, where you remove one of two flags on a player's waist, also called like a belt. Um, that is where the player is downed at. The play is over where the flag is removed, or goes out of bounds, or a forward pass hits the ground. That's when the play dies. Um, each team has four attempts, known as downs. For us football people, to get to the halfway line, that's their one first down. If successful, they have another four downs to get their end zone or score a touchdown. If unsuccessful, they turn the ball over. Turnovers occur also from interceptions and fumbles. We all know this stuff, but just a little debrief. And in flag football, this is like the one different thing. In flag football, no running plays are permitted within the offensive team 5 yards or less from the end zone. And then after a touchdown is scored, their team goes for an extra point by running or passing from the 5 yard line for two extra points, or from the 5 yard line, or two extra points from the 10 yard line. The field is also more narrow. The flag football field measures 20 or 70 by 25 yards, including 10 yards allotted for each end zone. But there are also rules with the blitzing and stuff. I believe the quarterback cannot scramble until after they're blitzed or after like a count, something along those lines. I couldn't find all that mumbo jumbo. So let's get into the draft and have some fun and get to the real rules of this draft. Let me get to the right sheet. So we've got a couple of rules for our draft. Numero uno is we are going to be drafting 10 players. So this is going to be a 10-round draft. Do we want to do snake or regular?
Say snake makes a whole lot
Okay.
better and easier.
Okay. So we'll do a snake draft, all current players. any assortment of offense and defensive players. It said on the article that typically the players will um, only play one side of the ball, but for this case, I think you can do either. And then no double drafts. So like if I draft Lamar Jackson, he can't take Lamar Jackson. Same as fantasy football. And then we are going to be drafting as if we are Team USA. Dak pointed out to me that there are foreign-born players in the NFL, but today we will be drafting as if we are Team USA. So, with all that being said, who wants to draft first? Do we want to do a number? Have Siri say a number between 1 and 10, and then
Flip
whoever's closest?
a flip a coin. Have Siri flip a coin. I'll take heads.
Okay.
Here, I can do it.
Okay, perfect.
Well, maybe.
I have a MacBook, so I can just
Yeah.
see if she wants to respond.
Hey Siri,
no.
flip a coin.
It's heads.
I'll pick first.
You want first pick? Okay. We got a little spreadsheet over here. That can't see it, but I'm plugging in all the draft picks and all that fun stuff. So, who's the first overall pick in the 2028 flag football draft for the Olympics?
I'm taking Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson taking Jay Jettis out first. Okay. So, do you have like I feel like we should have some explanation behind some of our picks. Obviously, you want the best receiver in the league. That's pretty obvious. So I'm going to take the other side, and I'm going to take Patrick Surtain, so you don't get the best player on the defensive side of the ball. Actually, hold on. Can I wait? Since it's a snake draft, I'm going to take both my players. I'm taking Travis Hunter also. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. He's got a slight build. He plays both sides of the ball. I don't have to worry about him getting hit. So that's going to be a big part of my draft and my strategy behind it. So I'm excited to see what you do with your draft strategy. But I've been thinking about this for like a week or two now since the flag football stuff came out. So I'm excited to see what you employ for your strategy if you employ anything like that.
This is kind of all off the fly for me. I have a few names written down, but I just like obviously if you don't know me and Ant have some flag football experience. We've played 2 years together in a flag football intramural, or however you say that word.
Close enough.
And I feel like for us, we just needed a little bit more weapons and a guy to throw to. As a receiver, you can play both sides pretty well in flag football. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
And I'm also going to take Ja'Marr Chase.
Okay.
My receivers are stacked. And I think Tyreek Hill could play both sides pretty well. He's quick enough to play both sides. He's obviously not going to be a guy that's going to be jamming you off the line or all that good stuff, but he's quick. He can play. And he's been a guy I think has been vocal about this before. I think it was back like 2020, 2022 when he's talking about flag football and it was in the news. I think Tyreek was a guy that was kind of in the news. It was like, hey, like we should play flag football out here, guys. So that being said, Ja'Marr Chase is another one of the best receivers in the league.
You got
I think
like three of
I
the
think
best, if not the three best receivers in the league. So.
yeah, I think Tyreek, Ja'Marr, and JJ are a dream scenario for any Olympic team. So
yeah. So with that, obviously, so in my mind, we are playing against each other. Like our two teams are going against each other. Are you of the same mindset with that? Okay, perfect. So with that, with those takes, I obviously need to again bolster my defense, and I'm taking Sauce Gardner. With that, so obviously Sauce Gardner, another guy with a more slight build. Um, but I don't have to worry about that. He's a little handsy. That could cause me some problems. But he's sticky, and that is what we need. I don't have to worry about him tackling anybody. I don't have to worry about him doing any physical stuff. I just have to worry about him guarding and catching the ball. and he does both of those things pretty darn well.
I am having dog issues.
He's
So
having
keep
dog
going.
issues. Yeah,
My
keep
dog.
going. If you hear a dog, no, you don't. Okay, so
Definitely my dog.
we now obviously on my team we're lacking a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. Um, Originally, I still think I'm going to. I'm going to keep my receivers for later, but I'm going to go Brock Bowers next. Yeah, because you know what you need in flag football? You need a center. You need somebody who can snap the ball. You know what Brock Bowers can do? He can snap the ball and then he can go torch somebody or go up on them. I don't have to worry about that having my
Wait,
receiver.
is he going to be able to block?
It don't matter. He's going to go catch the ball.
What if
That's
I
all I'm
rush?
saying. What if you rush? Just wait to see who
What
my
if I
quarterbacks
rush?
are. Wait to see who my quarterbacks are.
Okay.
See how well that goes out for you.
Oh, okay. What is it? My draft pick
You
now?
got two more. You got two more. Yep. You got your fourth and fifth pick. Right now, you're sitting at Jay Jettis, Tyreek Hill, and Jamar Chase.
So I want to go defense, but then again, I'm like, I think defense can wait. But I'm gonna go with Jarius Sneed.
Okay.
Just because he's very versatile. And he can play a lot of positions in secondary. I believe he can play a little bit of safety. If needed to, his corner. That helps a little bit as I'm gonna rely on my receivers to play a little bit of corner. And then I'm just gonna go out and take my quarterback. I'm taking Lamar. I mean, it's self-explanatory. I was scared like you were gonna take Lamar right off the jump. But if I have Lamar, um, Lamar can pretty much just do it all on the offensive side. So I think my offense is just scary, and I'm gonna rely on putting up more points than you. Is how I'm approaching this.
That's fair. So with that, I'm going to take my first receiver and Marvin Harrison Jr. Somebody who I know, yeah, is gonna get him going. And then my second and Malik Neighbors. Guys who are shifty, gonna catch the ball. I don't have to worry about them dropping it. And they're just gonna beat you. And then they're gonna miss you. Or you're gonna miss them. They're shifty. They're quick. And they're gonna catch the ball, which is what I need on my team after drafting Patrick Surtain, Travis Hunter, Sauce Gardner. So I've got.
And you know what I didn't think of? We're talking 2028 here.
Yeah, I know.
My guys are getting old.
My team's young. Yeah, I thought about it. The oldest player on my team is Pat Surtain. Everybody else is in their first or second year in the league. So L'Jarius Sneed might be in his 30s by the time you Tyreek Hill already is.
Yikes. We didn't think that one through.
Tony did. But it's obviously I kind of planned for this one a little bit. So a little bit of a advantage, but you got your next two picks. So just a little recap. So you have Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, L'Jarius Sneed, and Lamar Jackson. I have Pat Surtain, Travis Hunter, Sauce Gardner, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Malik Neighbors. Because you got to think, by 2028, these guys are going to be in their prime. They're going to be dogs. Did you see Marvin Harrison Jr. this in his press conference a couple weeks ago? That dude is yoked. Like he put the pounds on, and I don't have to worry about it. Maserati Marv missing on any of his speed, especially without them big old clunky pads on. Put him in shorts, give him a little belt, gonzo. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm gonna go with Fred Warner.
Okay.
And I'm taking Fred because I believe he can contain short routes. And he can rush when I need to rush. And I think Fred Warner can play a little bit of tight end for me. And snap the ball. I think he's pretty good with the ball in his hands. As He's returned a few interceptions for some touchdowns. I don't believe. Let me see how many. I know he has a few.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but as you can see,
He has
even
two.
even
He
in
has
flag
two.
football drafts, we're a little bit of a homer. But you also have to think: is Fred Warner going to still be playing football in 2028?
You know.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what people have to say about this.
He's 28. He'll be fine.
I can't wait to see what people have to say about this.
He's fine. Fred Warner's not too old. He will be fine. He's gonna help on the defensive side. And he can play around the flats. You know, he can play short yardage. Right. I'm not throwing Fred Warner on anybody and saying, hey, go take them in coverage. But I do think Fred Warner can guard Brock Bowers pretty well if it's a one-on-one matchup. So I need secondary
Yeah, you do.
for
So you got 4 more picks, and I also have 4 more picks.
you know what? You know what? For the brand,
For the brand.
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean. Ah, I see you. I see you. That was a good pick. I would have never taken that. So now my next 2 picks are going to be fun. You ready for this?
Dreams.
Are
American
you,
Eagle.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for these next 2 picks?
God. It's gonna be like Derek Carr.
We got Kyler
Justin
Murray
Fields.
at quarterback.
I knew that one was coming.
And then we got Jalen
So
Milrow.
much short.
Jalen Milrow.
You're taking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'm taking 2 quarterbacks because you know what? Those double passes are going to be nutty. And you know what else? Jalen Milrow might be the fastest quarterback in the league right now. And in 3 years, he might be a little bit more accurate. And he's already got a cannon. Nobody was doubting that. You have him chucking it deep to Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors. I'm built for the future, baby. That's what this is. I'm having a good old time over here. I'm having a good old time. Kyler Murray is already one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the league, too. And he doesn't matter if he's short. He doesn't have to see over the line. There ain't no line. What you gonna do? Blitz him? What then? What? He's gone.
No.
Yep.
He's not. He's not.
Unless you got Tyreek Hill in the back secondary. If not him, then
Kyler's
Jalen Milrow.
not outrunning.
Dude, Jalen Milrow and Kyler Murray for the read option or screen passes on the double pass. Don't even play with me, dude. Don't even play with me. I'd be drawing up nasty plays for them.
Yeah, well, okay. I got Kyle Hamilton. Okay.
You beat me to him.
So, like, we're gonna survive there.
That was a good one. I wish you didn't take him. He was my next pick.
We're surviving there. So I have Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. I have Fred Warner.
Lamar Jackson,
Fred's
L'Jarius
gonna play
Sneed,
both sides.
Cooper DeJean, and Kyle Hamilton. We both have 8 players. Now, my last pick. You can see how we both work in our minds. Dak went straight to offense, and I went straight to defense. A little bit of that was to counter what he's done, but also that's just how my mind works. And I think Travis Hunter can obviously play both ways, but I think Sauce Gardner probably could too. And Brock Bowers, he could probably field the middle. Come on now, he's an athletic freak.
Brock Bowers can play defense.
If not, then I'll put Jalen Milrow on the QB spy and see how well Lamar Jackson does. Man up, you
Lamar's
cooked.
I am taking Lamar's shiftiness over Jalen Milrow breaking down and taking a tackle every day of the week.
Well, it's not a tackle.
And grabbing a flag.
All he has to do is grab a flag.
Yeah, he's not breaking down and grabbing.
That's all he's got to do.
Nah, that's not.
And we're also talking about Lamar in 3 years. That's also what we're talking
Lamar
about.
in 3 years will have 2 more MVPs. Hot take. Lamar in 3 years will have 2 more MVPs.
That is a hot take. Because you know what? We got Jaden Daniels in the league now, too.
Yeah. Well.
And then we'll
Um.
have Arch Manning coming in, too. Yeah. You know how the NFL loves their Mannings.
That's
Yeah, they've
his
all
dog,
won the
Archie.
Super Bowl except for their dad. Well, I guess his grandpa.
Archie.
Yeah. Poor Saints guy.
Yeah, Archie didn't win one.
Last Saints first round quarterback, by the way. Fun fact for you if you didn't know that.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next. It's gonna be the next one next year when Arch goes to the Saints. I'm saying that now. The Saints are gonna be the worst team in the league, and they're drafting Arch
They're
Manning.
not going to be the worst team in the league.
All right. I'm struggling here because I don't really know where I need to go. I have some names.
This is getting a little hairy.
I'm looking around and I'm trying to find.
See, you can at least do research. I don't have my dual monitors today, so actually, I'm gonna grab my phone. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I guess I'm not cheating if you haven't.
You know what? I'm gonna take a page out of your book.
Oh, page out of my book. That means he's drafting a young player. That's what he's doing.
I'm drafting Anthony Richardson.
You take it. Oh, okay. I like that.
Because AR is quick and he doesn't have to. He can throw the ball long. We'll leave Lamar to do all the short stuff, but AR. I think AR can play a little bit of defense too if he really needed to. I think Lamar or AR can. I'm putting AR on a corner somewhere and jamming a receiver.
Okay.
Because honestly, I think AR is jamming Travis Hunter until next week.
He's a big guy. So, oh man, this is gonna be a little rough here. Oh man. Shoot. So now that it's my turn, I'm gonna remind myself that I am in need of some speed. I need some speed on my team.
Yeah. John Ross.
No, I wouldn't take John Ross if he was still in the league.
He's taking Henry Ruggs, guys.
Don't do
Different
that.
type of speed right there.
Don't do that. No, he had a different type of speed out of the car too. That's not play. He was a beast when he was on the field. I don't care what anybody has to say. He was a dog. He was an absolute dog. And I wish he hadn't screwed himself over and that poor lady. I remember I was in a dining hall waiting in line for Chick-fil-A when the news dropped on Twitter because it was Twitter back then still. And
yeah,
I was very sad. I was very sad. So I think what we're gonna do next. Do I want to do that? You know what we're gonna do? Because you missed him, and he's a beast in his first year in the NFL. Take Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't need receiver. So I don't need receiver. We'll be fine.
I know, but so let me take a little recap going into our last picks each. So you have Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, L'Jarius Sneed, Lamar Jackson, Fred Warner, Cooper DeJean, Kyle Hamilton, and AR. I have Patrick Surtain, Travis Hunter, Sauce Gardner, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Kyler Murray, Jalen Milroe, and Brian Thomas Jr. So I gotta count. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got
one more pick.
I know. I have a spreadsheet. I'm trying to see how many defense I got. So I got players to cover your 3 guys. And then you know what I'm gonna do? So before we drafted, I told myself I was going to because this is a player that's near and dear to my heart and has been for a long time. And I'm pretty confident that this team would kick butt and take names. So what I'm gonna do is I don't care if it's 2028. I need a route runner. And you know what I'm gonna do, Dak? You know who I'm gonna take? I'm taking my boy Hunter Renfro. He's gonna cook every one of your corners, dude. You put Tyreek Hill out there, he's cooked, dude. He is cooked. I don't give a rat's booty. Hunter Renfro is cooking every one of y'all. L'Jarius Sneed, off in left field. You want to put Cooper DeJean or Kyle Hamilton? Kyle Hamilton's got bricks for feet. Have fun with that. He plays safety for a reason. Hunter Renfro's cooking him. Have fun guarding Brian Thomas Jr. and Hunter Renfro. And you know what else? Hunter Renfro can play defense because you know what he did in 2019, whatever what year it was? He laid out somebody on punt return. So I'm putting him out at safety too. And he's going to go catch every ball thrown to him because third and Renfro, baby. Bingo, bango, bongo. That's the team. Tony's taking the dub. I don't care who you pick. For
Well,
the brand.
since he's still out there, it was a mixture. I almost took Derek Stingley, but we're gonna take DK Metcalf and round out the team and just go. We got receivers, we got guys that can play both sides, and DK Metcalf's just is a unit.
Yeah,
So have fun. Have
So
fun.
we got QB,
And
wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, center. Yep. Okay, so who would your wide receiver one be? So you got Jay Jettis, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf.
putting JJ. We're putting JJ.
What's your offense look
Then
like? I guess your starting offense. Who's your starting five?
my starting five on offense is going to be JJ, Tyreek, Jamar, Lamar, and
Who's your center?
we're gonna throw AR as my snapper.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So for me, we got Kyler starting.
Because he can read a little bit.
Yeah, we got Kyler at QB, obviously QB1. Brian Thomas Jr. BTJ at number wide receiver 1. Marvin Harrison Jr. wide receiver 2, and Malik Neighbors at wide receiver 3. Hunter Renfro is going to come in for special packages and cook y'all. And then at center, we're going to have Brock Bowers. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So how are you going to have your defense? So I'm going to put in a defense thing here too. So you're going to have 4 corners and a linebacker, or are you going to have it like or what do you want me to position wise for you?
So position wise, I'm gonna be zoning up a little bit. I'm gonna put Fred in the middle, and then I'm going to do some islands out.
So cover 2.
Possibly cover 2, but possibly mix it up a little bit. You throw Kyle Hamilton down a little bit, and you throw
base
a
cover 2,
DB
cover 3.
fullback.
So 1 linebacker, 2 corners, and then 2 safeties.
Something around there.
Okay.
But
so
Cooper starting on the corner.
Okay.
We're gonna throw DK on the other corner.
Okay.
And then we'll throw
like
L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed on the side with DK. Okay. Just in case he gets beat a little bit.
I don't need all that mumbo jumbo. Just hit me with it. And then I'm assuming Kyle Hamilton. Okay.
Yep. And then Fred's in the middle. And then Tyreek's gonna come in. He's gonna switch with DK a lot.
I don't need your subs. I don't give a rip about your subs. I need your starters. That's what matters. So linebacker.
12 players.
Linebacker. I think what we're gonna do is just put Jalen Milroe at linebacker. Have him shade the quarterback.
Right,
QB spy. QB spy. You're not attacking anything because we're running man over here. With Pat Surtain sticking to you, Sauce Gardner, not let you go anywhere. I put safety, but Travis Hunter's going to be a corner on my team. And then we're going to have Hunter Renfrow playing deep. So you've got 3 receivers. So we've got Pat, Sauce, and Travis covering them. And then we've got Hunter Renfrow playing deep safety. So let me do safety, corner, 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 linebacker. I'm just going to put spy because we don't have linebackers on our team. Now that is a money ball team. So for your starting offense, we've got Lamar Jackson, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and Anthony Richardson. Starting defense, Fred Warner, Cooper DeJean, DK Metcalf, L'Jarius Sneed, Kyle Hamilton. For my offense, we've got Kyler Murray, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Brock Bowers. Now that is disgusting. And we've got Jalen Milroe, Pat Surtain, the oldest player on my team, and just coming off a deep boy year. Sauce Gardner. Well, I guess Hunter Renfrow might be older than him. Travis Hunter and Hunter Renfrow. That's gonna be a fun little. That would be a fun matchup right there. If you ask me.
I'm interested to see what the fans think on whose team's better and whose matchups they like.
I agree with that.
I'm interested.
I'm also interested to see what they think. This is going to be the most heavily fan included episode we're going to need. So we need you to tell your friends, tell your family, tell the stranger on the street. Hey, the TD podcast needs some votes on this wackadoodle flag football 2028 draft. And now that the draft is over, so is the episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to also check out all the runners down there, all the things. We do Instagram polls. We obviously post on YouTube. And if you didn't know already, these episodes are streamed on Twitch. This is currently live. And you could be the first to view the video. So with all that being said, don't forget that your hosts, Tony and Dak, on the TD podcast. You have one thing?
We also, before you go, we are now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yes.
So
I haven't added
if
that
you
yet.
didn't catch the stream live and you're not on YouTube and you just want to listen to the audio and not see our ugly faces on your TV screen or something, we are also live, or not live, but we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify now, to where you can listen to us. And again, we're on different places, but we all come back to the YouTube. We all come back to the Instagram page, to where the Instagram page or the Twitch, where you can engage, you can tell us what we need to do, you can vote. There's going to be polls everywhere to where you can vote on everywhere you need to be. Obviously on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, there's not going to be any polls where you can vote there. But again, we're interested to see what you guys think out there. Give us your comments, give us your takes, give us who you would have playing quarterback or receiver better. Let us know.
Yeah.
So, fan engagement is something we want to work on and we want to have fun with.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're cultivating a community here, and we need ball knowers on the TD podcast because us hosts of the TD podcast, Tony and Dak, we also know ball. So don't forget to let everybody know that you're hosts on the TD podcast. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. We know ball. Have a good one. See you guys next week.